this video, what I want to show is how to fix problems when they go awry in terms of placement. Now, part of this video at the beginning was I talked about on the hood, how they made a transition from the hood on one side, the driver's side, it was purple. Nothing to match up with the fender. But on the passenger side here, we had a green stripe that came to the side and fit here. Problem is, the car that we got, this happens, was a Buick and not a Ford Taurus. So does that mean that everything was going to fit how it should? Maybe, maybe not. And so in this case, what I want to show is, here's an example of put the hood on and didn't take the time on purpose to not lay out the passenger side. Basically just put the hood on, hope for the best for the passenger side. And here's what happened. It's basically what we have here now is on a cutting table beforehand, as I trimmed the green out, just like on the driver's side, so that the Mutoh line could match up with the line on the hood. So if I put this here, it basically lines up here, the Mutoh is in the right spot. I'll lock it in place here, okay? Now I come out with a piece that was trimmed off earlier, and I'm just going to cut off the white trim on the side just so you can really kind of see what I'm talking about. Is I'm going to trim it off down to here. So now, what do we got? If I come back here and I line all the graphics up right to here and here, all right, I'm going to grab some magnets so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Is come back over here, line everything up here and right there roughly. So now what do we got? We got quite a discernible gap, okay? So for me, what do you do in this situation if you don't want to reprint? Let's say you're on the job and you're far from the location. Again, the client is not God. What you really want to think about now is really kind of fill it in tastefully and making it work somehow with what you got. And this is why I highly recommend, and I showed it in the videos beforehand, is saving all the scraps, the extra material that you don't need with the backing paper on, because this makes a big difference. So I'm also going to, right now, smuggle what I have. What I have now is a purple that bleeds to the front. So when they printed it, look how much purple I have. So I have this whole section here where, right now, the green pretty much covers the entire fender. So for me, I'm not going to wrap the bumper with this piece because I have a separate bumper piece. So now look at all the purple that I got right now. So I'm going to take advantage of this purple. So I'm going to poke my head around here. The green is roughly in the spot that it needs to go in. I'm going to obviously give it extra bleed and material. Feel through here where the exact cutoff is. Feel good about that. And now I cut this off. Now look how much purple I have. So I have this really big section of purple. Now what I like about the design going on right now is I have lots of constellations and lots of lines, but it's not really super symmetrical in terms of, it's not straight lines, it's not like a crisscross pattern that's very, very symmetrical. It's pretty random lines. So I want to take advantage of this based on the visual of the client. So now here, this piece here fits exactly, but if I move it just a little bit, it's going to really stand out. So if you have stuff that's supposed to match up exactly and it doesn't quite hit, like let's say 1/2 inch or 2 centimeters, it really stands out. So what I'm going to do is really think and make stuff really not match, okay? And that's actually going to play really well. So that's what I'm going to do here. So just in this video, what I want you to do is just pay attention to what I'm doing. And again, problem solving, I'm saving the panel. And again, this isn't my fault per se because the wrong vehicle showed up. So they printed for a Ford Taurus, a Buick showed up. Now I'm just trying to make it work. This for me is how, if you take time and patience and really do it professional and symmetrical and save your scraps, because it's the exact same color match as what I'm putting on now, you can really save the day, and that for me gets a lot of work. So definitely pay attention to what I'm doing here. Let's get to it.
So the first thing I'm doing is I'm setting up the green panel here with magnets, just feeling top and bottom, making sure it lines up with the hood. Once it lines up with the hood, I'm running the water-soluble pen and marking it. So here I want the purple to be about a 1/2 inch. I want to have a 1/2 inch overlap, so I'm making about a 1/2 inch on the right side of the water-soluble marks here. So you can notice how on the top there, the knifeless tape is inside the green there from the hood. Definitely want this because I'm going to put the purple first. So I want that overlap from the green facing away from the cars going. Plus it's just going to blend better because the green line is already straight because I cut it on a cutting table. So here I want to emphasize that again, just cutting a random piece. So I'm kind of pulling this purple piece and moving it around until I get a position that I really like where it fits in terms of aesthetics. So again, I just kind of pull it around and I'm going to cut it off. So again, you're going to see the final result here, And again, you can make it how exactly what you want, but I'm just trying to show that I don't want to get it close. I want it to be as off as possible, but obviously the same type of color. So again, you don't want it close, you want it kind of not match at all. So here I just take this piece here, very straightforward. And what's great about this is it doesn't have to be straight or centered to register anything, just basically just putting it on. So again, you just pull the entire backing paper off, create your hinge, and in this case, what I didn't do before is I didn't run knifeless tape, because I want to show different ways to do this. Right now I'm doing a trim line tape here. I'm just kind of setting up side there, and you're going to see me cut this off in a little bit. Just pull with glass now, and then I just squeegee it on. Very straightforward, small piece. So again, that's the beauty of this little section here. Once I get it set up, pull the knifeless tape, nice and clean, cut some material for me, never cut on the body, pull the material away, and then just pull out the filament, and always seal the deal. Very important to seal the deal. Notice I start with the angle first. The angle makes it flat, then I squeegee, and then here I'm cutting on the trim line tape. So again, you can use knifeless tape here, but again, some people can't get hold of trim line knifeless tape. So again, just want to show different ways to do it. Pull the material away, cut between the doors, and again, I'm just cutting on the fender side for now. Pull the excess material away, and you notice that the image doesn't match up at all directly. And here it doesn't quite look right at the bottom, so I'll show how to fix that in a second. So here, I want to put the green piece on, and this is technically an overlay piece. So you're basically just putting this on, and the green is overlaying the purple, but it's a nice straight line, so it's super symmetrical, and cut it off beforehand. So no need to run knifeless tape here. It's already pre-cut, very straightforward. So again, I just want to make sure the Mutoh fits in position, so I double check it. I know that the bottom of the letters match the top of the kind of groove on the fender there, right above the wheel well. So again, I can release the backing paper here, and it's matching up with the green of the hood. Very straightforward. So once I set up my permanent hinge, I can release the backing paper and then work from top to bottom. So again, I just pull straight down, try to create as much glass as possible. So again, my major priority right now, though, and it's not in the middle section where the material is, but making sure that line is straight from the hood down to the bottom corner there. So I pull with glass nice and even, no need to use heat. If I use heat, it'll turn that corner. Then once that's straight, I pull to the right and make sure everything goes down with glass. Only when I have glass do I squeegee. Can't emphasize it enough. Take advantage of today's technology with air egress and repositionable technology. Now I run my finger to set up the edges, and I'll do the corners and finish it off nice and clean. Now for this section here, I wasn't crazy about how that matched up with the bottom. So even though it's just a random piece, it wasn't looking great. It was a little too random. So again, I want to set it up again, and I have all the excess material here, and I have purple on purple now. So again, you can use knifeless tape here, or in this case, I'm using trim line tape. Don't have to do a triangle all the way to the bottom. Here, I'm going to hide that purple at the bottom, at the back. I take a random section of purple, and again, different ways to do it. Trust me, you can mix and match it to your aesthetic. I'm just trying to show a very straightforward way to how to kind of solve panels that are short. Once I put this purple piece on here, and again, I'm just waiting for the green later, is I tuck it around that little chrome that is at the very bottom there, swing it around, form it there, cut it straightforward and clean, pull the excess off the side, run my finger to seal the deal. Then I'm going to click my knife and with a very light touch cut directly on the trim line. So again, definitely use knifeless tape if you have it here, or if you don't, trim line tape is great. Again, I'm not cutting on the body of the vehicle, I'm cutting on the trim line tape. Nice and symmetrical top to bottom, and then cut on the groove there. Again, so cutting on the side of the chrome, and then finish off on the trim line tape towards the bottom section there. So again, just kind of hiding it within the print there, because there's a little purple there that snuck out of the bottom. So then I pull the excess film away along with the trim line, go back and seal the deal, nice and clean and purple, come back with the green. Now the green in this case didn't quite match, go to the door there. I have to add another triangle piece. So again, I'm going to cut that at the bottom, cut it at the side of the door, then I'm going to come back and fill that with an excess piece. And that excess piece is going to come from the wheel well area at this point if the material has no dirt on it. So again, I clean the wheel well. I don't think I'll have any dirt on there at all. So on this side, I'm going to wrap all the way into the wheel well. So I picked it up, formed it in, cutting away. So the driver's side was cut cold and clean. This was wrapped behind. And here, to get a straight edge, a good little tip for you on the job is I'm using the edge of the door as my straight edge. So again, a nice, good, quick way to get a straight edge. Don't have to go to a cutting table there. Use the side of the door. Again, obviously not cutting on the door, but again, it's a great way to create that straight line quickly when you're in that section. So again, it creates good flow. Once I tuck it in, again, match it up with that line there, heat it down again, seal it. Everything looks great, straight, and done. And here's a shot of the final result. And again, imagine this through the client's eyes. Once all the hardware is on, all the graphics are on, you stand back. Does this stand out? No, it actually bleeds. It's a nice color purple. The red at the bottom of the fender connects to the one on the door. So again, there is some continuity there, but it's not exact. It's a random image. So again, it plays. And again, what's great about this is you took scraps with the backing paper on and saved the day because it was the wrong vehicle and the panels came short. So again, this makes for a happy client. Whoever hired you, you saved them from having to do a reprint, and again, something that the client doesn't see. So don't see through the installer's eyes, see through the client's eyes. Thanks for watching. Justin Pate.